Los Angeles is simmering with tension after widespread ICE raids targeting undocumented immigrants sparked protests and resistance across the city in the past 24 hours. In a controversial move, former President Donald Trump has ordered 2,000 California National Guard troops to be deployed, despite strong objections from Governor Gavin Newsom and local leaders. Scenes erupted today near a Home Depot in Paramount and in LA's Westlake neighborhood, where masked federal agents in heavy armor tried to detain individuals. Protesters fought back fiercely, throwing rocks and shouting to prevent arrests. Trump took to social media, accusing Governor Newsom and Mayor Karen Bass of failing to manage the situation. He declared, "If Governor Gavin Newsom of California and Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles can't do their jobs, which everyone knows they can't, then the federal government will step in and solve the problem, riots and looters, the way it should be solved." In an official memorandum, Trump labeled protests and acts of violence as rebellion against the authority of the federal government. The National Guard deployment is set to last 60 days, or until the Secretary of Defense decides otherwise. Yet, local officials paint a different picture. The LAPD described the unrest as peaceful, and Governor Newsom condemned the federal deployment as purposefully inflammatory, warning that it would escalate tensions and erode public trust. He emphasized that LA authorities have sufficient resources and are coordinating closely with state agencies. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth further escalated the situation by announcing that active duty Marines at Camp Pendleton are on high alert and may be deployed if violence continues. The timing of Trump's announcement raised eyebrows. He was attending UFC 13 in Newark, New Jersey, socializing with friends and family, including UFC President Dana White and former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson, far from the chaos unfolding in Los Angeles. The raids earlier in the week led to over 100 arrests across Los Angeles and San Diego, including prominent union leader David Huerta. Protesters filmed the roundups, blocking government vans and confronting federal agents. The LAPD used tear gas to clear areas around the Edward R. Roybal Federal Building, despite earlier assurances they would not intervene. Trump's deportation chief, Tom Homan, had warned on Fox News hours before the troop deployment that National Guard troops would be sent if the streets were not cleared, a statement critics say was intended to heighten fear and justify a show of force. California's top leaders, including Senator Alex Padilla, criticized the Trump administration for sowing chaos and division. Mayor Karen Bass maintained a cautious stance but affirmed support for coordinated law enforcement efforts. Amid reports of Black Hawk helicopters offloading weapons near a Department of Homeland Security staging facility in Compton, the White House defended its actions, condemning violence against law enforcement and vowing swift justice. While America's second-largest city faced this upheaval, major U.S. cable news networks delayed live coverage, with the UK's BBC standing out as one of the few broadcasters on the scene. As protests continue to build, the eyes of the nation remain on Los Angeles, waiting to see how this federal-state showdown will unfold. Subscribe to our channel to stay updated with breaking news like this.